Hello and welcome back to Modern Roman Art. So today I actually have two cameras going. I have my computer camera and I also have a camera up there, hello, which hopefully will be giving us some top-down views of the work that I'm going to be doing in my current sketchbook. So I guess the first thing that I'm going to be doing is tell you about what materials I'm going to be using. For this, I'm using a Moleskine Japanese album. There are 48 pages in here, and it is a cold pressed paper. Great for using markers and pens, pencils, more of your traditional media. You can use some paints in here, like quick, and you can see I've used paints in here. But we're going to be doing mostly an illustration today, a warm-up illustration. So it's going to be mostly drawing, but I will be adding some color with watercolors, which I recently found a love for. So materials that I'm mostly going to be using today. I have this black Ewing pencil. It is a firmer pressure, or a firmer lead, actually. So I don't have to apply as much pressure to get as many darker lines in here. I tend to be kind of heavy-handed, so this is nice. I get the dark lines without having to be as heavy-handed and pressing onto my next pages. I will also most likely be using this, I think it's Alvin, yeah, an Alvin Draft Tech pencil. These are great because if you see, they completely close up so that you don't ever damage your tip, and this comes out. It's great. I also like to do some of my preliminary sketching with, this is a non-photo blue Prismacolor pencil, which means that if I try to scan in my image later, this will not show up on like a copying machine or a scanner. As well as this. So I kind of do my rough detailing, or my rough shapes, and then this I kind of go back into my detail work, and then I tend to finish up with either pencils or a Micron fine liner. This one is in 05 and black. I also carry sepia always on my hand. You may notice that I might lean over a couple times if I need more materials. They'll be over in my little drawer over here. I guess I'll tilt this so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I have a drawer system over here, which I carry like extra pencil cases and materials in at all times. Makes it really handy. The other thing that I like to use is this. It's a Pentel click eraser, really handy for being able to go in and clear up a lot of smaller details. And a magic rub eraser, the traditional artist's eraser that you go in for the big things. But you still have to be careful because otherwise you'll rip up your pages. And then lastly, it's this Faber-Castell, sorry, and it is a pencil sharpener, and it opens up two ways, and one side is a universal side over here. You'll see there's two holes, one for like a larger pencil, one for a smaller. And then on this side it says color grip, and so this is specifically for like your Prismacolor pencils, things like that. So I'd use this one on the universal side, and this one obviously on the color. Sorry, I'm backwards in my image here. Hey, you guys still good up there? All right. So that's the last of like my drawing tools. And then for my coloring, I will be using this. This is my painter's palette. It is designed to keep your paints wet if you're working with acrylic paint or wash. I will be using, let's see, here's my palette. I'm going to be using Grumbacher in Chinese white, ivory black. This one is called Grumbacher red, actually, and golden yellow, and cobalt blue hue. So the reason why I'm going to be working with these is because you can create anything using these colors. You can create every color using the three primary colors, black and white. And even whenever I'm using like straight black, unless I'm doing something modern, I actually create my own blacks using, I tend to go with, I believe, purple, like a dark blue, brown, and then sometimes like a touch of extra red at the end if I need to, and make it really deep dark. So you'll rarely see me actually using blacks. I have these two brushes because I like to work small in my books. So this is, I believe, a flat. Yeah, this is a flat shader. So there's the flat shader. Sometimes I'll use a bright. A bright has a shorter, more square tip to it, while a flat is going to be more rectangular. It's nice because you get some precision from the side. A little bit thicker of a tip there. And then sometimes I'll go in for extra detailing. This is a number 2 round by Princeton Art and Brush. So I'll be using this as well. And then, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to be leaning over a couple times. I always use, this is going to be soapy water. And this is just clean water. This is used for cleaning out my brushes so that whenever I am ready to transfer colors, like I can deep cleanse my brush, or I can do like a deep rinse of my brushes, and then with the soapy water I can actually fully remove the color. Also gives me something nice to dip back into if I'm needing to add water to my colors without adding like the dirty, crappy water into my paints. So that's what I use these for. You notice these are just jelly jars. I like to reuse jelly jars. I like to recycle my materials so that I am getting the most for my money and I'm not going out buying unnecessary supplies that I don't need. So those I will be using as well. And then the last material that I will be needing would be a roll of Viva paper towels. Why Viva? Because I've just noticed that they're stronger than almost anything else out there, especially whenever you're trying to like scrub brushes. I was both a makeup artist and I'm a professional, obviously, painter and graphic designer, and these are just what work best for whatever brushes you're trying to clean. Go with these. Also, the soap, Dawn. Doesn't matter what kind of brushes you're using. Dawn gets it out. If it's gentle enough to clean like a baby duck, it's gentle enough to clean your brushes. I learned that one from a friend, makeup artist friend. Not gonna call you out, sorry, don't want you to get in trouble. So, that's what we will be using, and let's get started with this warm-up, shall we? Today I think I'm going to be doing a sketch of Link from Zelda. My daughter has been playing a whole lot of Zelda recently. I'm a big Zelda fan. I actually have a Zelda tattoo. So I think doing a picture of Link, who you'll see on the back wall over there. I'm just going to do like a quick little sketch of him, paint him in, and give you an idea of kind of my warm-up drawing and my warm-up situation. So I'm going to probably switch to this camera up here so that you guys can see. I'm just going to use him as reference over here. He's pretty easy to work off of. He's got a pretty, oh, why am I using this pencil? I just said I don't like to go straight like this one. I was doing that last night as a practice and it was weird to me. Okay, so I need to be able to draw my circles. So you're probably not even going to see this blue up there on the screen up there, and I don't think you would even really be able to see it on here. Like I've got a circle on there, you can't really even see that. So you're going to hopefully work fairly quickly on this space here for you guys. If we need to, we'll do a little speed up. We don't need to do that. Hopefully I can entertain you with my discussions. So I guess we should talk about why I got into art in the first place. So my mom was an artist, and whenever I was a kid, she was actually working on her degree for college whenever I was really little. And I always really enjoyed just kind of watching her do her work. It was just something that always intrigued me, and I didn't understand why. But as I've gotten older, I've realized it just allows for a nice little release of like kind of who you are as a person. You're able to show your individuality through something as simple as a sketch, which is a lot of fun, and I don't think that a lot of jobs allow you to really do that. Like, say you're working a coding job, working computer science program, you aren't going to be able to just like really express who you are as a person through your coding unless you're maybe working on a video game and doing something brand new that nobody's ever seen before. But that's really all I can think of right now for that kind of situation. I almost broke my leg. But yeah, so I watched my mom do it a lot, but then I've always had a history of getting sick a lot, having what appeared to be a lot of mental illnesses, and I recently found out I have an autoimmune condition. But whenever a lot of these mental problems were first arising, like my late teens, early 20s, art, especially painting, gave me a way to kind of release myself. I didn't know who I was as a person really anymore, and it allowed me to just kind of take the time to find myself, and I really enjoyed that about art. I don't really know much to say about it other than it's allowed me to find myself as an individual, and that without art, I think I would be really sad because I convey a lot of who I am as a person through my art. Sometimes if I can't have a proper, decent conversation, even with my husband, like I'll pull out a piece of paper and I'll just sketch it out and be like, there you go, now you get it. So this is just like a really simple sketch that you can see that I'm doing here. Big old bushy eyebrows, you guys. Big bushy eyebrows, oh baby. And I'm constantly playing around with my style, by the way. I told you in my intro that one of the things we were going to be discussing was my style and where I developed it. But the truth is that I don't really have, like, I think a distinct style. I mean, people who see my art are like, oh yeah, it's Jordan, but to me, I look at it, I'm like, I'm so all over the place. What am I doing? But I really love doing like illustration, like, isn't that wonderful? But I mean, it's just a warm-up doodle. It's just something to kind of get your hands moving. I do that, and I like to do a lot of lettering. So you might see me do some lettering here towards the end of this session, actually. So now I'm going to go in with my multi-liner. And my multi-liner will really allow me to thicken up those lines. And whenever I go in with the watercolors, it'll give it something to kind of stay inside of. Sometimes, I mean, some colored pencils are good for that, but sometimes they aren't the best. Like, depends on how waxy they are, and actually, I don't think I'm using a very waxy pencil, to be honest with you. I'm using the Prismacolor Verifine, or Verithin, I believe, and they're great pencils. They aren't waxy, which is, in my opinion, pretty great. But at the same time, it doesn't mean it's just not going to hold in the watercolors I'm going to be using here in a bit, the way that I would like them to, like a fine liner can. So I've been using a lot of watercolor actually quite a bit recently, and it's not something that I really liked before. I've tried it in the past, and I always felt like it was just really difficult for me to use. I just don't think I had enough patience for it. But then I got into a painting class, and I had been using acrylics for a while at this point. I got into a painting class, and the teacher was like, acrylic paints are harder than oil paints. Acrylic paints are harder than oil paints? Yeah, you can actually blend oil paints really easily. They're really easy to work with. You just have to have the patience to let them dry. Acrylics, on the other hand, dry like that. You have no time to blend. You gotta work quickly, kind of a situation. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah, apparently watercolors are actually the hardest to do. And I was like, okay, it takes a lot of patience. You got to be very technical when applying it. You got to be very careful with it. And I was like, well, if I've got the patience and the technicality to work with acrylics, why am I not working in watercolors whenever it comes to like my sketchbook, where it actually would be quite applicable and create really nice, beautiful colors? And that's the idea of me using that in my book started. And I fall in love, as I said. I just think that they add this nice dynamic that you can't get. Acrylics I find to be very, very flat in color, very flat and straight, while watercolors I'm able to really move them around and have some areas darker, some areas lighter. I'm able to shade a lot easier using watercolors. And really, that's something that I've really found that I really like. So one thing that I've noticed in this image, because I'm drawing with way early here, his pupils are like, so that's quickly filling in the eyes there. I think that should be pretty much it. I'm gonna quickly draw him a bit of his tunic. I'm gonna do that and then add maybe some lettering around it. Because that's always a good thing to do, is just kind of practice your lettering. Let's see, what can I do that kind of goes with that? I know I'm looking back for a lot. There's a lot of like these circles and kind of Art Deco feel to it. I'm just deciding what I kind of want to do. I think I'm going to go with these really tall, skinny letters. Make that on the downstroke. Fill it in, bubble or something. That's what we're seeing right there. This may not look good, but that's what doing a warm-up is for, so that your later stuff actually looks really good. But no matter what I do, I always try to fix it up a little bit, even if it doesn't look that great to start with. So I've got his name written. I've got like this ivy kind of going on, so I've been thinking about oh, my ivy isn't nearly as good as theirs. But it is definitely something. Something to give the image just a little bit more interest and detail. So we have like a very basic little doodle here with his name. Now we're going to color it. You will notice that I get messy whenever I paint. Obviously. I'm putting in my blue first. I already have the paint on me. I'm actually going to use a little bit of this. Yeah, I'm going to use a little bit of this black. As I said, I don't normally use this, but since I'm basing this off of the image already, and the image shows him having very, very dark black eyes, I'm going to use some. Ooh, I just stuck my white lid in my black paint. I'm a professional. Alright. So first I'm going to start by, actually, you know what I need? I don't have out. Sorry, camera. My palette knife. I'm wearing my booty shorts. Yay! Palette knife. Palette knife. This is my painting bag. So you might see me coming here a couple times. This is where I keep like most of my brushes and my knives and stuff. But last time I checked, my daughter had run away with my knives. They aren't actually knives, by the way. You'll see what I mean whenever I get to them. Oh my gosh. No! Palette knives are a tool that's used for kind of etching in designs. They can also be used for mixing your paint together. And I've got a whole bunch of pins and here you see scissors. Let's kind of head to the point where I find the knives. Oh, there they are. Palette knife. I told you it's not. It's just what it's called. Okay. I'm going to be getting a little bit of this blue. This yellow. I want a nice deep shade, so I'm going to go pretty dark and get yellow to blue. Right there. Blue and yellow. I'm going to lighten it just a touch. I'm going to take some yellow and put it in a separate area to make it a little brighter green. The lighter green is going to go underneath on the shirt. And the darker green will go on his kind of over tunic. And you'll see what I mean whenever you get a better look at this, or hopefully you see pretty well from above at this point. Yes, I do go out of the lines a little bit. That is a personal artistic decision to do. I intentionally go out of the lines. I mean, whenever they happen, like, it's not like, oh, I intentionally went out of the lines. I mean, sometimes I do, but for the most part, I just kind of let it happen. Like, I'm not too worried about it happening because I've had to learn that not everything's perfect all the time. I have some pretty debilitating OCD. I don't have any sketchbooks from beyond a couple years ago because I would rip out every single page in it because it was never good enough. So me actually keeping sketchbooks recently has been a feat, to say the least. Okay. So as you can see here, I am just kind of flat washing in this color. I'm not doing like a rinse prior to because I want these colors to be nice and more opaque, almost like as if I'm using a wash. I do have a cake pan of watercolors as well, which I really enjoy, but that's definitely more for if I want the kind of fluid look, which I do sometimes like to get from my watercolors. That's typically what people are going for whenever they're using watercolors. So I'm actually going to touch a little bit of this yellow with some of this green that I've already been using. I'm going to begin to create a variety of shades inside the leaves. I'm not going to make them all one solid color. They're going to be kind of a variety of colors blended together. That provides a nice look. Oh yes, bam. Looking good today, Link. Looking fine today. Whenever I was younger, I had a huge crush on Link. Huge crush. I don't know. He was a dude who could turn into like a fish, and I loved mermaids, and I was a swimmer. And there was something incredible about that. And he loved music, and I was a musician, and all these other things. And oh my god, my cat just opened my door. Cat, why do you do this to me? It's nothing sacred anymore. It's nothing sacred. Ow! That's right. I've got a cat down here. His name is Cheshire. I'll show you him. Come here. He is Cheshire. He broke his tail when he was a baby, and it's all like wonky and crooked, and I'll let you go. Have fun, bye. Fur babies. They're almost as good as real babies. But no, real babies are a lot of fun. Now we're gonna go in and start kind of just coloring his hair a bit. He's got that lovely golden. And if you notice, I'm not really doing a lot of shading. I'm just kind of blocking in colors. As I said, this is just kind of a warm-up practice round. Nothing super extravagant, just kind of getting my hands flowing in the positions that I like for painting. All that jazz. Finally saw that movie recently. I know it's originally like a Broadway musical or whatever, but the movie was really good. Chicago. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. My mother-in-law is a theater professor, and she recommended that I watch it. It's really great. I enjoyed it. We tend to have similar taste, me and my mother-in-law. Which is surprising. I can't talk. I can never talk. Socially awkward. Jordan's back again. Doing her thing. Ooh. Messing up Link. Messing up my wonder. Okay, we're just gonna go all out and just go screw it, we're doing fun watercolors. Sometimes you just have to do that, and that's what I meant by like sometimes you're gonna mess up and you just go with the flow on it. So in this case, I messed up how I was painting in the lettering, so I am at this point just going to probably let the watercolors do their thing. I'm not going to stop them anyway. I probably shouldn't pick red to do this with. Just red at least. I need to add some extra color to that. Otherwise, it's just going to look like blood running everywhere. Be careful. Watercolor, red watercolor, bloody mess. That's all it looks like. It just looks like somebody died in your sketchbook and you didn't know how to clean it properly. Now we're getting some there. I know I said it earlier, I was going to use a cute tissue box. I know earlier I said like I like to use Viva paper towels, but sometimes a little tissue just does the job. And now we are getting somewhere. Yes, we are. Not exactly the color scheme I was looking at going for with this, the red and the blue going on. With all the green, probably should have gone more brown. But, you know, it's what a practice round is for after all. Testing things out, making your mistakes, getting them out of your system. We've got something going on here. We really do. Alright. I'm gonna add a little bit of extra paint in some spots here. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I just need to fill in Link's eyes and his skin, and I think we should be good. Last but not least is the skin tone. thing about skin tone is that it can get really dark really fast. So you have to be quite careful with it. Okay. So now, with your image done, no matter what you're working on, you want to let it dry completely and then go back in and add your final touches. In this case, because it is an illustrative drawing that I've just happened to watercolor, I'm going to be going back in with my multi-liner again, cleaning up the lines, and I'm also going to be doing some extra highlighting with this, which will really make it pop. See, we have this really simplistic the Japanese album is at it again. It's an accordion fold kind of thing. So with this, we have this really simplistic drawing that's done now, but we want to let it dry so that I can go back in, re-outline some of these marks, and also go in and add some shading details and some highlighting. Normally something like this doesn't take me this long. I'm just having a lack of inspiration today, like I have been recently, which is why I try to warm up every time, doing like a quick 30-minute drawing or something like that, and then everything else kind of flows from that. But I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of where I start each day. So we'll be back in a few, I guess, whenever everything's done. Hey everybody, so I just finished up the final parts of my drawing today. I ended up inking in the letters where I had done like kind of little bubbles, did the shading and added the little bit of highlights. Remember, this is just our warm-up drawing for the day. So here is what I ended up with. Let's see if we can get in the light there. As I said, since it is a warm-up drawing, really don't worry about it being perfect at all. Your sketchbook is your personal place to draw in. It's not really for other people's eyes unless you want to show it to them. So feel free to get experimental and just have fun, get out there and paint. If you want to support me, check the description down below and you'll be able to find a link to my Patreon. You'll also be able to find a link to my Facebook page as well if you want to look at some of my other work, or to find the work that's been featured here today. So I hope that I'll see you next time on Modern Roman Art. This is Jordan signing out. Bye bye!